What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again here on Lost at Sea. And tonight we are running it back, another draft. You might have seen us do a little Harry Potter action a couple weeks ago, but I'm back. Patrick and Logan. We're doing another draft here. Pat, I don't know if you're frozen or you're just that's just that's
This
just
is
what
just
you're
my
doing.
this is just my victory stance.
Pat won the Harry Potter character draft by one vote, actually.
Fuck
Um,
you, if you really think about it.
no, one vote.
Mm.
Pat had the superior team. I do want to point out on the poll, though, Logan came in with two votes, one being himself. So, Logan, how do you
Oh, whoa,
feel about the crowd
whoa, whoa, whoa!
reaction?
You voted for you can't vote on those.
Pat, I
Yes, I
think you did.
can. Who's
Pat, I think you voted for yourself as well on Instagram. Let's be real.
I don't think I did. I think I stayed impartial.
Mm,
listen, I have something to say, and this is what I'm going to say. I stand by my decision. I think that maybe I didn't really get what we were doing
fair.
until like halfway through. And so that's why I'm excited to redeem myself tonight. I feel like I've got a better understanding of what's going on, and I'm ready to redeem myself.
And listen, what a better way to redeem yourself than something that we enjoyed all of our childhood. It was a Farley household staple for breakfast. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about breakfast cereal. We are doing a
Eat it up,
breakfast cereal
baby.
Let's
draft.
eat it,
Um,
baby.
and that is anything, breakfast cereal related. We're doing a straight five-man team. So we will each eventually pick five. Yep, five. You guys just switched up on me there.
So, I have a question.
Logan, you have a question.
I
What is going?
okay.
I just want to know that Patrick did raise his hand first, but I love that you called on me. My question is, let's say, for example,
Sure.
someone picks Cheerios, right? Does that
Okay,
encompass
first
the
of all, Pat,
entire?
Logan. First of all, we're not tipping picks. That's something that you just did right off the bat. But continue.
It's part of the question. Hypothetically, okay. Well, let's
Don't say
hypothetically
another one.
say someone picks Schmerios, right? Does that encompass the entire Schmerios catalog, or are we able to divert to a specific type of Schmerios?
Totally understand. That will be up to you. I mean, you can do that. If somebody takes a brand and you take a brand that might be a little bit better, it might be a little bit worse. That is completely up to you. Brand being, maybe a different flavor, maybe a different style of that. That's up to
So
you.
flavors are up for grab. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know why it still says that your hand's raised. I'm just gonna exit that out so it's not.
Oh wait, I can lower it. Sorry.
Now
I
you
feel like I
switched
just
again
always have a
on my
question.
end. Patrick, you had a question? Was that
That
your
was that was my question. I do want to say because you brought up a memory. I remember vividly as a kid, Logan and I this one instance because us Farley kids would eat cereal every morning, and I remember one morning. Dad was a very big guy on you can't open a new box unless one box is finished. And Logan and I were like, that sounds lame. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to follow that. And we got a certain cereal because I'm not going to do any picks. But we dumped so much of the cereal into both of our bowls, took one bite and then left our cereal there. And Dad was just like, "Hey, what the fuck are you doing?" First of all, you broke one rule, and then you ate one bite of this and then left.
so wait,
So hey,
the cereal that you guys dumped in was the one that you were trying to get rid of, or
was a new one. It was a new.
why would
I
you
know.
do the
I don't know. It was terrible. It was a terrible thing that we did.
Patrick and I act on impulse control alone, and I will not apologize for that.
okay, but that just the strategy there just didn't make sense. But
No, none whatsoever.
guys, last time we kind of had a debacle with picking the order, right? I was gonna do the number behind my back. You know, I said this time I would have a wheel ready. I don't. Let's be real. I don't have the wheel. So I
And we knew
think
you
that
wouldn't.
I think the best way to go about it is last round, last time, Pat, you had a good idea. Write a number down, whoever has it. So let's
Yeah.
do the same thing this time around. I'm gonna put a number down between 1 and 3. And
Okay.
Pat, you can guess it. So let me just write it down real quick.
Like Pat guessed it last time, no?
Look, you can go for it. It's just
Yeah, I feel like I want to. Like, I feel like, I'm in my redemption era. Like, I feel like
Yeah, I
this is
won
gonna be really
though.
good.
I won the last draft, so that's
Yeah,
but
no, absolutely.
it's good that Logan goes because he lost by so much.
yeah.
Okay, hey guys.
Arguably,
Hey.
arguably one of the worst drafts ever. Mom called me and went, "Wow, what the hell was up with Logan's picks?" Literally, that's not
Listen,
even.
I love
listen,
that our mother can barely form a text message without confusion, but yet she is able to read me to filth, not only text me, but comment on my TikTok, text me, call me. And I'm like, this girl can't even turn on her phone without needing help.
listen, this is not a mom bashing podcast. Let's get to what we are here to
This
do,
is
and
pro
that's
mom.
draft. This is pro mom.
I hope she hears this. I
Well,
want her to
I
hear
send her
this.
the link every time. So, Logue, 1 through 3. What do you got?
I'm feeling number one, baby. I'm number one.
No,
Number one.
Patrick.
2.
That is correct.
Yeah, there we go. All right, redemption era. What were you saying, Logan? Sorry, you cut out. Could you just one more time? You were saying something?
Redemption era, baby.
Okay, got it.
We'll see.
Okay, so I'm gonna go first, and then do you want me to write down a number?
No. You get to pick. Do you want to pick first, second, or third?
I'm gonna go second. Right in
Okay.
the middle.
Pat will go second. And for the viewers that are just tuning into these snake order, Pat will be the middle round every time. So Pat, since you have chosen, why don't you write down a number between 1 and 2, and then you can pick either me or Logan to choose.
Okay, I have a number written down. I'm gonna, because Logan guessed first last time. I think Duke should guess.
Absolutely.
I'll go number 1.
It is 1.
And I will take number 1 overall again. Call back to Harry Potter, the boy who lived. Okay, cool. I love that setup. I wanted that going in. Logan, you will be the last in this round, but the double dipper.
That's what they call me in high school.
Gross.
So let's get this thing going. I am going with, this was a childhood staple. Still have it in my house, my apartment to this day. It's one of the only cereals I eat, into my 20s, late 20s here. I think this is the GOAT of all cereals. I am going with the number 1 overall pick, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah. I knew you were going to do it. I knew you were going to do it.
Yeah.
I think the big pro on this for me is the after cereal milk. It's the best in the industry. The cinnamon, it's the perfect crunch. The only con, you know what, I'm not going to say it, but if you guys have any holes to poke in this, do so now. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I mean, that's clearly the first choice. When I was going around the apartment here, rattling off some, I was doing my board. I had basically a war room of people. We were riddling off names, and the number one prospect in this draft was Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because you get the twofer. You get the great cereal with the best kind of like sugary coating, but you get the milk after. It's a twofer. Some of the best milk in the game, if you do, and absolutely. I think a huge problem with cereal is a lot of people, if you don't like milk, you got a whole thing of milk here that you got to drink, but nobody ever dumps out the Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk ever. So Duke, that's a clear first choice. That's a clearly great pick. I don't even, and also the other brands of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, good. It's tough to poke holes in that pick.
Lo, what do you think? Was that high on your board? It seemed like you like to go out of the box.
the cereal box, if you will. No, but that was obviously the clear first choice. I'm devastated. I really am. And I think that that is really going to lead you. And I think you've got a strong lead there. And you know what? That's okay. And I'm proud of
Redemption.
you. But I'm in my redemption era, and you guys aren't ready for what I'm about to pull out.
But do you know what I am
I
ready
don't.
for, Logan? I am ready for Patrick to make the second selection of the
Mhm,
serial
mhm,
draft.
mhm.
I think the board's wide open here.
I know what he's
Board's
gonna
wide
pick, though.
open.
I know what he's
You
gonna pick.
guys know. You
I know
guys
it.
know what I'm gonna pick. It's my go-to. It is the staple of who I am. Oh, captain, my captain, come to the team. Captain Crunch, baby. Easy, light work. Don't even want it. Not even a discussion. Captain Crunch is one on my board. Will always be one on my board. I think the variations that Captain has come up with over the years, there's never a bad captain. And when you got a captain, a guy who can lead the team, of course he's going to be number one.
Listen, I'm a peanut butter guy. And, the captain brings the peanut butter and he brings the crunch. Captain Crunch was number 2 on my board.
Absolutely. I'm an oops all berries guy.
And that's a great point, Logan. Even when he makes a mistake, like oops, all berries, it's delicious. It's delicious. There's no wrongdoing with the captain. Even when he makes a mistake, the GOAT.
The fact that there's a cereal named Oops All Berries is pure camp. It's pure camp. It's fun for the whole family.
and on the box, he's going like, "Oh fuck!" Like, oops. I love that. He's silly and he's great. I literally just had him yesterday.
Another big thing what you guys have talked about it at ends, but an iconic character. The captain's an iconic character. Branding on point. You got the big red box. There's the different variations like we mentioned. That was my clear number 2. But yeah, Logan,
I'm very excited to see what happens here.
double dip. They called you in high school. Where are we going, Logan?
Ah, man. And I mean, like, you guys took out like some heavy hitters, and that's tough. But I get 2 picks now, right?
The double dip.
The double dip, as they say. And you know what? I'm ready for this. I'm ready for a double dip. And we're gonna start with something that I think will cement in. Oh, hello?
Still hear you.
Hey, yeah,
Something changed. No, I can hear you, but something changed.
The headphones died. And you know what? We're all about the change. We're all about that. So I want my first pick overall. Again, unlike last time, I want something that is going to be solid. Well, no. Well, first of all, I'm going to preface this by saying I stand by my first pick, but I'm gonna play it a little safer for my first pick.
Sure.
And we're going to do something that is probably in many households today. We're going to go Honey Nut Cheerios. Can't go wrong. Solid. It's a staple of American breakfast cereal. That little bee fucker, he's great.
Okay.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
we saw the Bee movie. We know it. We love it well.
I think you lose points by bringing up that movie.
2 different movies, 2 different bees.
But again, Honey Nut Cheerios, it's gonna put me there.
Definitely a veteran. Definitely a veteran of the game. For one, you want some veteran leadership on your team, and I think you're going to get it with Honey Nut Cheerios. That's a pretty solid choice.
Yeah.
Listen, I mentioned earlier that I have 2 cereals in my house, Cinnamon Toast Crunch being one of them. The second is Honey Nut Cheerios. They travel well. They give you a snack.
Good for cholesterol.
They don't have to be just cereal. Good for cholesterol.
And little babies love to eat them just like out of the bag. That's like a baby thing.
And big babies too.
Big babies. Yeah. No, I think that's a good point, Logan. There's a baby market that a lot of people don't realize.
Yeah.
I think that's a solid first pick, similar to me and Patrick's picks in the Harry Potter draft safe. Logan, the beauty, the double dip. What are you
And this is
doing
where
to
we get a
knock
little
off
wild.
round 2? Sure.
And this is where we get a little wild. This is where we're gonna have a little fun, because you know me, guys. I'm a little fun. And I want to have some fun with my breakfast cereal. So I'm going for my overall first choice. When I go to the supermarket, this is what I'm getting every time. It's me, it's fun, and it's a little fruity. We're going Fruity Pebbles. We're
Great
going
choice.
Fruity Pebbles.
Great choice.
Now, I know you're probably asking yourself, why Fruity Pebbles? Why not Cocoa Pebbles? Great question, and I want you to be asking those questions. Fruity Pebbles, one, it's colorful. Like me, rainbow, sleigh. The texture in my mouth is fun. I like it. It kind of reminds me like I'm eating sand a little bit, and it just like makes my mouth feel good. And I like the way the milk tastes. I think Cocoa Pebbles serve a very good purpose. But right now, I'm all about the Fruity Pebbles, and it's great. And it's great in it's a great ice cream topping.
Yeah, I definitely think Fruity Pebbles. That was one of my top choices, Logan. That's a great pick. I thought you were going to go way more out of the box with that one, but I'm glad you kind of reeled it in because I think Fruity Pebbles benefit has one of the best first bites for cereal. One of the best first bites is the first bite of a Fruity Pebbles. I think the downside is that you got to eat them fast because the mushy Fruity Pebbles, if you let them soak too long, no bueno. So
Sure.
You're taking a risk, but I think the benefit outweighs the risk because it's one of the best first bites in cereal.
And it's also like, who's eating Fruity Pebbles slow? Not this guy. I can't help myself.
I do want to step in here, Logan. Multiple times you have tip picks, so we're not giving away other cereals.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
You're bringing up other cereals that could be drafted later on.
Sure. And we don't. Yeah, and so I'm already putting bad vibes out there. So
So are we going to deduct a point automatically, or is
no? But I do just want to go. I
do
just want to go back to the point where you said it makes you feel like you're eating sand. I think that would probably be a negative for most people. So can you maybe elaborate on that?
Absolutely. There is something in my brain that whenever I'm at a beach, I want to take a handful of sand and put it in my mouth. Just the way.
It's
going to be a great clip, Logan.
People
are gonna be like, "What the fuck is this about?"
It just looks sad, and the thing is, my brain tells me, no, that's not gonna taste good. But the texture that I want in my mouth is sand, and so I feel like when I eat Fruity Pebbles, I sort of almost get that crunchy, crinkly, rock sand, it's how when sometimes people don't drink pulp orange juice because the texture freaks them out. It's the opposite. I want that texture in my mouth. I want the sand kind of small little things in my mouth.
Listen, I'm going to cut you off there, Logan, because Fruity Pebbles is going to look great for the graphic. I just think that way of describing it is really bad. It's actually kind of ruining the cereal for me. It was one of my top 3.
It was my top 3 in that one.
I don't know why you said that.
Forget I said anything. It's a me thing. It's a Logan Farley thing. It's not a Fruity Pebbles thing. Fruity Pebbles is not. I'm not sponsored by Fruity Pebbles.
You're not. I think it's best if we move on to
you
Pat.
clearly wouldn't be.
I think it's best if we.
You just talked about sand for 5 minutes.
Pat, you were up in the second round.
Yeah. Wow. So. Okay. Gonna just roll that one off. So my second pick. It's just wow. Okay. My second pick. It's up there. I think it's a staple of everyone's breakfast. It's the All-American. I'm drafting All-Americans here. And my second pick, it's not good. It's great.
There he is.
That's right. Tony the Tiger, Frosted Flakes, put it down. Some of the best milk in the game, some of the best crunch in the game. Some people think, Tony the Tiger's kind of like Captain America, with him and Captain Crunch, dude. I got an all American team so far, and that's what I'm going for. So I'm gonna bring Tony the Tiger. Come on down, Frosted Flakes, elite cereal.
Listen, you're drafting a very good cereal, but you are also drafting maybe the best character with Tony the Tiger. He's the guy that is dependable, reliable. He is like you said, the all-American, cereal guy. And it's not good, it's great. Like, that tag is iconic. I will say there is one hole that I will poke in Frosted Flakes. Sometimes the flakes are a little too big and they do kind of, chip at the tongue,
scratch your mouth.
You have to chew all the way. You got to be on your toes when you're eating the Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, and here's the thing: it's not made for guys like you two. It's made for real athletes. Guys who put up with the scratching and it's delicious.
Yay! Well, what do you think of that?
I think it's.
Is it sandy enough?
Is it? Yeah, I was gonna say, are we gonna ask a guy who wants to eat sand? What the fuck?
First of all, look at this cutoff. If anyone's an athlete here,
I knew you wanted to do that. I knew you wanted that in there.
Yeah, we're gonna call attention.
Second of all, Tony the Tiger, I'm gonna say something kind of controversial. Kind of hot.
Oh.
That, again, out of left field. I feel like every time Logan talks, I have no idea what he's gonna say, and
is that controversial?
Get this guy a mouthful of sand and a tiger's penis. Please, can somebody get him?
Listen. He's kind of cute. It's kind of fun. And yeah, I think it's a great pick. It's all American. Before a soccer game on Saturday morning, you're having a bowl of Frosted Flakes. Is it gonna be like my Monday morning, I gotta go to second grade cereal? Not for me personally. I need that like extra fun kick. But Frosted Flakes is great for the common athlete.
Listen, I think it's a great pick here. He was high on my board, but it is now time for the tables to turn. It's my time for the double dip. And to close out round two, I think I'm taking an All-American here. I think another huge childhood staple. And this cereal also, rings true to my heart because there's a little bit of marshmallow in it. I am going with Lucky Charms. Couple things I want to say about Lucky Charms off the bat. Like I said, marshmallows are involved, but Lucky Charms always had those interesting back of the cereal boxes where you had to find the individual charms. I think the cereal is super unique in that you had the different, marshmallows that were shapes and of different charms. Lucky, he's iconic himself, the leprechaun. I think it's a household name here, and I'm getting him in the bottom of the second round. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I've got one thing to say.
Yeah, Logan, go ahead.
They're magically delicious. And it's got a sense of wonder and magic that I think we all need, especially at a time like this.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I think, what Democrats and Republicans can both agree on is that Lucky's got to get away from them Lucky Charms. Everybody's trying to steal Lucky's charms, I think, whatever aisle politically you're on, we can all come together.
And it's a story we can all relate to.
I'm not really sure why it fell onto the Lucky Charms for that. But sure, yeah. I'll take it. If that's what it comes with.
With all the, Black Lives Matter, all that kind of stuff can be solved with Lucky Charms. Am I right, guys? Come on.
Couldn't agree more.
Listen, that's why I took them.
Well, here's the thing. Here's my little tidbit on Lucky Charms. I think it was up there for me, but the thing that makes me hesitant for Lucky Charms is the not marshmallow part. The oat cereal itself is can fall a bit flat, and I think everyone will agree that the best part of Lucky Charms are the marshmallows. There are people who would buy just bags of the marshmallows, and it's like when you got one thing that's clearly overshadowing another thing, does that create overall a better cereal, or does it hinder it in some way? Something to think about.
Listen, you have to be strategic with how you consume the bowl. You don't want to go for all the marshmallows right at the beginning, because then you will be left. I do agree with you, Pat. You will be left with that oat part that's not as flavorful. But if you have that perfect blend of every spoon you get, maybe one marshmallow and some of those oats, the sweetness will carry through the entire experience of you eating that in that session. Some people do fuck that up. That is something that happens.
And you know what?
And that's
I
all.
love it. I love a cereal that I have to strategize for. I love one that makes me
Who does
See, I
it?
don't. I don't. I like to just shovel my mouth. I don't like to think of ratios on the spoon.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's some you know what you're getting into is what I'm saying. With that being said, Lucky Charms I do think is a household name, but I am going to start off the third round here, and I came in with a strategy. I'm not going to reveal what it is, but I am torn between the two now that I want to go with. I don't think I'm going to go with the one that I don't. I'm going to go with the one that I think will be taken if I don't take it now. I am going to go with my fruit flavored cereal here. I'm going with Fruit Loops. I'm doing the Toucan Sam here. I wanted to get a Fruity Pebbles were my number one fruit based cereal, and Fruit Loops I think comes close. You got the different flavor, you got the different colors, you got that big O, and then you got the Toucan Sam. It's a household name here at the top of the third. Thoughts?
I think it's a smart choice. I think that you need a fruity cereal in there, and I think if it's not going to be Fruity Pebbles, Fruit Loops is the obvious second choice. And if you're happy with an obvious second choice, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Not Fruity Pebbles. Fruit Loops, just kind of womp womp, in my opinion. I was never a big fan of Fruit Loops.
Because you're homophobic?
Yeah,
Oh.
I think that I think they hinder to the queer agenda, and I don't want that to be on me or my children.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be
God.
another great clip.
No, I love my gay brother. Speaking of, hey, sweet tarts, you're a sweet tart, buddy. I love you. So I don't know. I just kind of don't. I was never a big Fruit Loops guy. It's not even on my board. I mean, it's an iconic
Wow,
cereal.
not on your board.
Not on my board. It's an iconic cereal. I never gravitated towards it, but I think it is going to look good on your thing. But if I'm being honest, kind of always fell short for me. And when we get to my pick, I think I like this cereal a little bit better.
Listen, it's not for everyone. I do think the name Fruit Loops, people know it. I think, maybe the taste isn't up to par with maybe some of the other cereals that were drafted, but we're in the beginning of the third round here. So I'm happy to get it. And Pat, you are next up here with your third pick.
Yeah. So here's where I think, because I see the strategy that you're doing. I like that. I think that, I got Captain, I got Frosted Flakes. I need a little fruit in my life. I'm going for this guy. Just, I feel like he's a staple of like Saturday morning cartoons, and
Don't pick mine. Don't pick mine. I swear to God, if you pick mine.
Here's the thing. It's not for us, it's for kids, and it's Trick cereal. Trick cereal. I'm gonna go with in the
I think
beginning of the third.
I think Lowe's happy about that. It seems like he didn't get the
Yeah.
reaction of his pick getting stolen. But I don't want to cut you off, Pat. Tricks.
Trick cereal, I think, is my go-to fruity cereal. I think I know what Logan's going for,
I think
which which is also a good third round pick. I think maybe a steal in the third round, but Tricks for me will always. I always thought they were better than Fruit Loops. If I was going to go for a fruitiness, I pick. You got your Fruit Loops guy and you got your Tricks guys. So I was always a Tricks guy. So I'm glad to have him on the team.
Thoroughbred and Tricks. I was on my board. I do have a big board. It was top 15, I'll say. What I will say about Tricks is I think recently they've fallen off. I don't see them much. I think it is a childhood staple. I think it's a throwback, but I'll be honest with you. I can't tell you the last time I've seen one in a grocery store.
They're there. They're there. You just gotta look for them. Well, they're for
And
kids.
you know what?
It's not for us.
So you're drafting something that's not what we consume.
Well, it's not what we
it's your pick. It's your pick.
And you know what? Honestly, Pat, I forgot about it. Didn't even have it on my board. And also, after they changed from the little fruit shapes to the balls, I was kind of done with it, and you lose points because it's such an iconic cereal, and then to go the easy way and just do little colorful balls.
Seems like you're cutting corners, right?
Right, exactly.
It's efficiency. You get all the. First of all, all of the cereals that we have drafted have gone through multiple versions of what they are, other than Cheerios, which is just that.
Honey Nut.
So, Honey Nut Cheerios.
It's the honey's taste of sunny. Got a wholesome kind of nutty. Honey of an oh.
Listen. Tricks deserve to be drafted in the top 15 picks here. I will say that, in my opinion. But Logan, you had a reaction like a pick slipped to you here. What was it?
I know what it is.
Well, okay. Is it my turn? Was that
another double dip?
So you're on 3-4 right now, right?
I'm on 3-4. And you know what? This is kind of gonna make or break my draft here. And so it's a lot of responsibility. Sure. I'm feeling up to the challenge, and I've kind of had two cereals that could go into this third spot, right? And it's really hard. And at the end of the day, I have to go with what's in my heart, and I have to go back to my childhood, and I have to think, I'm at the grocery store and I'm 10 years old. What is my chocolatey cereal that I want? And it's got to be Reese's Puffs. Eat them up, eat them up, eat them up. And you know what? I stand by that choice. I think it's got one of the best commercials of all time. We were all singing that little ditty. And you get a little chocolate, you get a little peanut butter. It's just absolutely delicious.
Pat?
That's a great pick. Reese's Puffs is definitely up there. One of the best chocolatey cereals of all time. One of the goats. One of the staples of chocolatey cereal. Just that's a good pick. Look, that's a good pick. Classic pick. Yeah, I got no qualms. No qualms. Love Reese's.
Reese's Puffs was on my board. I will say it's still not my top chocolatey cereal. But I do like how you described it, Logan. You get a little bit of peanut butter, you get a little bit of chocolate, so it is that hybrid. The commercial, iconic, yes. That's not what I thought you were going to go with, so I'm really interested to see what you draft now.
Okay, guys. I think this one's going to make or break me. And
said that last time, too.
I know. My heart is beating on my chest. I wish you could feel
I
it.
if you don't take what I think you're gonna take, I think I'm gonna take it.
Oh
I
my
know. And this is like one of those trend moments where I'm like, are we on the same page right now? But again, this is a cereal. I don't think it's as common in the mainstream, but it was definitely something that the Farley kids were eating. And when it was in the pantry, we were like, oh, it's going to be a good week because we've got honeycombs.
God. Ooh.
Oh,
We've
okay.
got honeycombs.
Okay.
A beautiful, big, puffy, like honey, sweet honey flavor. We would devour a box in a day, you know, and it comes in that big box. It was great. And one of my all-time favorites. I haven't had it in years, but man, I would do anything to have a bowl of honeycombs right now.
Okay.
I
Cool.
totally agree with you in the fact that it's not as mainstream as the others,
Yeah.
but I had this cereal rated very high on my board on taste alone. I thought that early on in the draft, I'm trying to get big names here. And if
Mhm.
honeycombs had slipped to me, I probably would have taken it in my next double up. On taste alone, I think it's a great tasting cereal. It's
Yeah.
the bigger pieces, so I think it fills you up more.
Yeah. I think
And
that's
yeah,
I think that's the biggest thing with because I recently had honeycombs. Somebody had it in the house, and I went out and got some because somebody had it, and I was like, "Oh, dude, I haven't had honeycombs in forever." I think, and it still holds up. It's a great cereal. I think it's definitely one of those things that not a lot of people like what you said, Logan. It's not one of those things you think of because I completely forgot about honeycombs. It's a good cereal, decent cereal. I think the biggest issue with honeycombs is the size. You know, it's like one of those things where it's like you gotta get a big bowl for those honeycombs, and
Mhm.
but it does fill you up. But it's like it's a lot. You got to get the big spoon because you get a little spoon, you only get 2 or 3 honeycombs in there once.
that's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I will say though, Logan, I think that's a steal with the in the first of the round 4.
Yeah. First and fourth
Um,
round.
That's,
I feel confident.
but Pat, looks like your cereal got to you here. Are you gonna pull the trigger?
Yeah, I think I am because here's the thing. We got so many. I have a lot of ones on and maybe we can do like just rattle off some honorable mentions at the end
Absolutely. Yeah.
I because I got a lot here, and I I'm kind of going for icons right now because I definitely my last pick gonna come out of the woodworks, gonna come out of the woodwork.
I look forward to
So
it.
I'm gonna go with my chocolatey cereal. I think it's a staple of cereal everywhere. I enjoy it. I'm cuckoo for it. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for
Damn.
cuckoo for. If you're getting Cocoa Puffs in the 4th round, that's. I mean, I think that's a huge steal. I think it's one of the most iconic characters, one of the most iconic commercials, and then it was always in the box of the 3 box. When we go up to Maine and Sissy would have the 3 box. You had your some of them were not mentioned, so I'm not going to say them, but they're a staple. Or the little cereals you would get, like the little boxes, like the to go boxes. Cocoa Puffs always in there. So
And let's talk about that
I'm
milk. Let's talk about that milk.
that's what and one of the best milk games. One of the best milk games.
One of the
You get
best.
chocolate milk at the end. It's simple, little chocolate balls, simple, airy, fluffy. One of the best milks.
Pat, I had a second
Sorry
round
for
grade on that. That was what I was debating with Fruit Loops or Cocoa Puffs. Which one I didn't think would get taken. And you sniped it right in front of me. That was my number 1 graded chocolate cereal. So, game respects game. I think you got to steal there.
Yeah,
Thanks,
totally.
buddy. Yeah,
That was Reese's or Cocoa Puffs, and I was like, I just have to go with what my heart wants. But it was a tough
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Cocoa Puffs is up there. Yeah, no, but appreciate. Hey, tip of the hat, fellas. Thank you.
And listen, that's tough to get past, But I do have to make my final two picks here, and I'm excited. I'm looking at the list I have based on a grade. Do I want to reach for another chocolate? Do I want to wait? I mean, and not even draft one here. I think I am going to. I'm gonna take one. I'm just gonna go with my next highest rated one. I have a 10 pick grade on this. I am going with Honey Smacks.
Knew it. That knew you were going to do that.
Ooh.
Honey Smacks.
You were a Honey Smack guy.
Duke was a Honey Smacked guy.
It's kind of like, the honeycomb and the Honey Smacks. They were like neck and neck with me throughout my childhood, like which one I liked more in the honey category. But there's something about those Honey Smacks, a lot of the time they would cluster together and you would get a big chunk of one and it would just be just iconic.
I'm Blaine. Oh my gosh. Hi, hold on 1 second.
And so, as Logan steps out, I'm really happy to get Honey Smacks here. It's one of my favorite cereals based on taste, and that's why I have such a high grade on it.
I think it has one of the best, like Honey Smacks, very good flavor, but I think it's got one of the coolest back of the boxes, and character box itself had like this kind of like just kind of cool. It was always cool. It was always a cool box, cool mascot. The frog, the mascot, great. Like really, really cool box, really cool back of the box, and a great cereal.
So good, so good.
Definitely not mainstream, but I think it was a kind of a cool character, and I think the taste holds its own amongst some of the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Guys, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Sure. Listen, Logue, Pat, as Logue's off camera here, Logue, he stepped up today though, I think, with his picks. I think he's got some pretty good picks here. Do I think he's got a team that's the same as ours? Not on par yet, but I think he keeps getting better.
Yeah, he's definitely getting. I mean, some of the wildest takes I've heard from him.
It's
today.
good that it's good for him. Yeah, it's good for him. It's just a graphic, because if people watch the video, they'd probably be turned off to what he says and might not vote for him.
Yeah, they'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" But the graphic it's going to make a good graphic, much better than the last time. I think we're all kind of like neck and neck because this is such a subjective. Like, I'm very excited.
And you know what? It's something that we really all connect with. This was a big part of all of our childhood.
You're in the view thing, whoever's talking, and so you're in a different place now, so that scared the shit out of me.
Well, listen, with that being said, we are now in the final round. I am starting off the final round, and we are rounding now. You got some armpits.
I'm sweating.
Look at that. I'm so sweaty.
I'm so sweaty.
I sweat for this, dude.
I had to move rooms because I was sweating so much.
Listen, it's what happens when you draft. But I'm making my final pick. And I think I'm gonna go a little old school here because I'm not sure if these bad boys are still fucking around, but I'm gonna go. When I think of this cereal, I think of literally Cartoon Network. I think of just chilling on a Saturday morning watching cartoons, and I'm having a bowl of Apple Jacks. I'm going Apple Jacks here. I decided I'm not gonna reach for a chocolate cereal. It got taken from me. I'm not gonna go reach for one. I'm gonna go with some nostalgia with some Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks. Best commercials by far. The best saga of commercials. Is Apple ever going to get in the bowl? Beat Cinnamon to the bowl. Here I come. I am Cinnamon. Is literally some of the best commercials. I think it's a great. It's a cereal that would trick the parents. I think in my mind because Apple Jacks, Apple. It must be healthy. It wasn't. It was delicious. No, it was there was no apples, but it had a great flavor to it. And The parents see apple on it. Apple Jacks. That sounds healthy. Come on.
And the
Trick them.
duality of the characters with like the cinnamon guy being like super chill and the apple guy being so short and angry. I feel like we as children really connected with both, and it was like a real duality of man, and it's something that sticks with me to this day.
I'm gonna pivot off of that. I'm gonna say green, red makes me think of Christmas. And you gotta fact check me on this. I think they did something with the Grinch back in the day. Some sort of themed cereal brand that they came out with that had him in it.
Probably.
Which is kind of cool, I think, if it was real. I could be bullshitting that. It's been so long. But not to say pretty good tasting as well. I mean, it was pretty good. But yeah, that's going to round out my draft. But we got 2 picks left here. We got Pat, then Logue. So I'm excited to see where you guys take this. I know, Pat, you kind of alluded to it. It's coming out of nowhere, right?
Out of nowhere. And I would be surprised if you guys. Okay, let me just preface this by I have a special surprise for the podcast. I have a special surprise for the podcast. This cereal, my last cereal, when we were initially talking about doing this draft, I was like, oh, yes, I love cereals. And this cereal, I don't know why, just came to mind. And I was like, oh, my God, I haven't had that in forever. Let me go to the store and get some. It's nowhere. This cereal is nowhere. I don't know if you guys remember this cereal. You cannot get it at stores. I had to order it on Amazon, and it came this morning, and I had a bowl. And this is a veteran of the game. Someone, I don't think anyone remembers, but it's going to round out my team. And oh my God, I love it so much.
I feel like I know what you're going to say.
I think I know what you're going to do too.
Wait, hold on. Can you guys guess? Because I want you guys to guess.
Logue, you guess first.
I think I'm gonna guess s'mores.
Is that it?
Is that it? Not it.
I'm gonna guess Count Chocula.
Not Count Chocula. This cereal, you guys have not seen in forever. I freaking love this cereal, and I got 2 boxes.
Okay.
Waffle Crisp.
Ooh,
dude! Do you guys remember these?
Yeah,
Waffle
I remember
Crisp?
those.
I think I do.
Because they were Waffle Crisp, and then Eggo had their own cereal. But I remember Waffle Crisp specifically, and
those are the super syrupy ones, right?
Yeah,
they take like a syrupy cereal.
Yeah.
And look at the back of that box. That's a classic back of the box.
Wow.
Like and I loved it, and I only could find it online. And I mean, wow, that's a lot of calories per serving. But Waffle Crisp, but that's the point. It's a sugary cereal.
Right.
I remember eating this. You can literally smell it off the box. The syrupiness, like that. Oh my God! I had 3 bowls today.
Now, when you had it this morning, did it live up to what you had back in the day?
That's a great question, Duke. So when I was looking for it online, they have it on Amazon, and a lot of the comments were like, "Oh, I remember the cereal as a kid. It doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold up." Let me tell you something. I don't know what those people are on. It holds up.
Thank
this
God.
holds up. And I will be eating this for the next 2 weeks. I got 2 boxes. I am in love with Waffle Crisp. No doubt it was going to be on. And I'm like, it's like a long lost brother, Like we were talking about it. I feel like I'm reconnected with it. That smell.
You've got a kinship to it.
I wish you guys could smell it because it literally brings me back to our kitchen table in 202 Greenwood Street. Like I'm obsessed. I love it. It's nostalgic. It's definitely not. It's out of left field, but yeah. God damn it, I'm glad to have him on the team.
And you know what, Pat? Just the personal connection alone, I think makes it the best pick. You want something that you can really stand by and connect to, and the fact that you went out of your way to order it just proves how much you love that pick. Definitely not on, and I don't think not on my list. Probably definitely not on Duke's list. But you know what? As long as it means that much to you, that's the important part. That's what this is all about. Is the nostalgia.
Listen, if people know and had, the waffle crisp when they were younger, you might have just won the draft with those people.
Yeah.
It's a matter of, do they remember?
Exactly. And even if they don't, the fact that we talked about doing a cereal draft, and I was like, oh wait, what are some of my favorite cereals? And then just out like in the back of my mind, like a shelf knocked over and Waffle Crisp came out of the back corner of my brain. I was like, Waffle Crisp. And literally, I went to 3 different stores, could not, because nobody sells them. Like, I was like, what the hell? And then I had to look online, and I found it on Amazon, and I was like, I don't know if these are gonna like go bad, but they don't. They make it, but you just got to order it online.
Wow,
that's the beauty of
sell
Amazon,
like
brother.
Wisconsin or something. I don't know.
Listen, I'm jealous that you get the opportunity to eat those for the next couple weeks.
Me too.
But that's a great surprise, and we love when people really buy into these drafts, and that's what you just did, Pat.
Literally.
So Logan, round us out, take us home. Where are we going?
Okay, guys. There's a couple different ways I could go.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those things where I've just got to go with my heart and what I'm feeling in this moment. And what my heart is telling me is I got to go Cookie Crisps.
Yeah. Okay.
A classic. I feel like that was another one. As a child, I was like, I want mini cookies in my cereal bowl. Did they taste like mini cookies? No. Did they live up to all the hype that I gave them as a child? Maybe not always, but just the hype around this cereal and like the yearning that I had for it as a child, and it did hit. So it was always a good one, and I think that's a great way to round out. Again, it's more of a nostalgic thing for me as opposed to like maybe quality of cereal, but you need that nostalgia factor.
Absolutely.
I always thought Cookie Crisp was never really Cookie Crisp was not really always in the household growing up, but I didn't mind it when it was there. It tasted okay. Like you said, it wasn't the full, chocolate chip cookie that you were probably looking for, but it gave you something. I'll give you that.
Not definitely one of the better non-milk cereals where you could just grab the box and eat them.
Absolutely.
Or you get like a Ziploc bag and put some in there for like a snack. Dude, yeah. Cookie Crisps were pretty good.
All right.
Do we want to go into maybe some honorable mentions that didn't get drafted at this point? And then we can recap the teams and see what we have.
Yeah, do you want to just go down the line? Like,
sure.
Logan?
I could go first. I don't want to steal all the honorable mentions, but I had Cocoa Krispies on there. I had Pops. Was never really a big fan of Pops, but I remember them being around a lot. I think they might have been in that 3-pack that you were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Pat. Yeah. Count Chocula, like I said, that you might have pulled out. And then my last rated cereal was Mini Wheats.
Mini Wheat, dude. I was gonna clown on someone if they Mini Wheats in my later years, great. Like, because I don't know, but as a kid, get that those would sit on the shelf. That was the old box. If there was like nothing else, like maybe I'll have some Mini Wheats. You have to put a gun to my head to get me to eat some Mini Wheats. Get that in the box that kicks the fuck out of here. Okay.
Well, it's also like my tiny child mouth couldn't handle all the wheat.
It's like eating an SUV.
Too much.
It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
The other thing that You mentioned a box of cereal just staying on the shelf at all times. I think there's still a box of just regular Rice Krispies at mom's house just
Dude.
standing in that closet.
Without a doubt, if you go into the Farley house pantry,
Right
there will
now.
be a box of Rice Krispies that has not been opened for 12 years.
And mom
Like, who
will
bought that?
eventually but mom gets it. We're all like moved out in like our mid to late 20s. We're like, mom would always get this, but mom would get giant family sized tubs of Rice Krispies, and we would never eat it. The only way we would eat it is like if I dump sugar on it,
Right.
mix it up, and then eat it.
And even still,
Or-
it wouldn't sit on the like all this. The
would just-
sugar would go to the bottom of the.
yeah.
Oh God.
You could never make
Suck.
it work.
I'm gonna go my honorable mentions. My honorable mentions. One of them was very close to being drafted, which I was surprised. Pops was one of them, but like Pops is. I feel like Duke, you were a big Pops guy.
I did eat them a lot, but like looking back on it, like I don't
Not
think
a
I
lot of-
really enjoyed them that much. There was
Yeah.
not much flavor with those.
No character there, and it was advertised as like a corn
The-
cereal.
Yeah, corn cereal, but the commercials were really funny with the mouth and they would do the upside down mouth.
yeah.
God, my Pops. Yeah, those were really funny. I just remember the commercials for everything. Pops. Logan, I was gonna do s'mores. S'mores is one of those cereals that like I was like, oh, this is like if we have this, it's like if if it's a good week, we get s'mores.
Right.
S'mores or Oreos. The old Oreo cereal was really good. But the one that I think might be criminally underrated, which I
I know what you're gonna
should have
say. I know what you're gonna say.
Golden Grams.
Golden Grams. It's Golden.
Golden Grams.
So
Golden
good.
Grams gets slept on. Every cereal sleeps on Golden Grams, and I feel bad because I fucking love Golden Grams. But like, I don't know. When you have such icons, it's like everybody doesn't think about Golden Grams. If it wasn't for Waffle Crisps, Golden Grams was going to be my fifth pick.
There's something about Golden Grams that I feel like when I was researching it, I looked at it and I was like, I don't really remember if this was good, and I don't really remember having it that often. So I was like, it just wasn't there. Like I wasn't gonna ever draft it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love it. Golden Grams was definitely if I didn't pick Cookie Crisp, it was gonna be Golden Grams. Another one, Cinnamon Life. I love Cinnamon Life, but I just knew that I don't think I could get everyone on board on that. S'mores was another one. But yeah, other than that, pretty much all of the ones were the same. We were kind of in the same headspace with all of this.
I thought honestly
Yeah.
maybe somebody might have thrown out Wheaties just for the sport part of it. Another one that I did not think was going to be drafted, and if it was drafted, I also would have probably trashed the person. Raisin Bran.
Yeah,
Raisin Bran Crunch.
yeah. Raisin
Bran
Bran Crunch is a
I'll
little
hit
bit
any
more
day.
redeemable. Yeah,
But again, it's an adult cereal, and I'm not trying to be like, ooh, what
Yeah.
I eat as an adult. Like, no.
no, yeah. Raisin Bran Crunch is. I think Raisin Bran Crunch, Strawberry Special K, and Cinnamon Life is like all great, but no, I'm
That's
not
your
gonna put
grandma's
that-
cereal, bro.
Right.
That's a let me look at let's get the cholesterol down. No fucking thanks. Give me some sugar.
Well, let's recap these teams here. Logue, I think you had a strong showing. Honey Nut Cheerios, Fruity Pebbles, Reese's Puffs, Honeycombs, and Cookie Crisp. Pat,
that's a pretty
Captain
good-
Crunch, Frosted Flakes, Trix, Cocoa Puffs, Waffle Crisp. And then me, I got Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops, Honey Smacks, and Apple Jacks.
2 Jacks, 2 back-to-back Jacks, huh?
Honey Smacks,
Smack-
Apple Jacks.
That's smack and jagging, baby. I'm excited to see because I think these are all really even. Like I think
Yeah.
last draft it was going to be a toss up between me and Duke. I mean, Logan, you weren't even a question to be in the running, but I think now it's definitely going to be like I'm very interested to see who wins.
Absolutely, guys, and I appreciate it. I think, there's been murmurs in the group chat that, maybe we go to cartoons next. You'll have to tune in and see what we decide to do. But as always, I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to seeing who wins this. I think it's going to be a really tight race.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Duke, thanks for having us. Always good to
Thank you,
get
Duke.
on the Zoom and draft the bros. And I feel really strong.
Good.
Love you, Duke. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go get some